going on, everybody? Hoping everybody can hear me. What's going on, everybody? Yeah. What's up, 24 KT? What's going on? All right. So we got here. We're gonna let everybody come in for a second. All right. So what's going on, man? All right, everybody. What's going on? Hey, man.
Hey.
You all right?
Hey, Kevin.
Kind
I see my cousin Kevin on
Oh,
here.
okay. Okay. Okay.
What's going on? Yeah,
Rainy, smoggy day.
yeah.
Bad rainy day.
Boys, raining, cats, and dogs.
Yeah. No, right. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, so yeah, so so
Hey, Two Times.
yeah, man. So anyway, tonight, everybody want to just talk about the working with a broker. Um, where to start at? So I know a lot of people probably have heard about the issues as far as some of the brokers are going out of business right now. Um, I know I'm not going to call the broker name that still owes um, us money. But this week, the F FMSCSA they ruled on um, some pending um, information from um, about the things that were happening with the brokers. The FMCSA, they're the one that regulates. They regulate the pretty much transportation industry as far as between the authorities and things like that. Well, the good news is just kind of giving everybody the rule came out this week as far as they're going to be able to now regulate the brokers that if their bond, which is a $75,000 bond, um, a surety bond they're supposed to have at all times. If it drops below $75,000 um, for 7 days, the FMCSA can suspend their bond, man. Which to me it protects carriers like us, um, because what happens is a lot of times, like I said, the one broker that went out of business that owed us money, it left us on the hook for that money, and it doesn't feel well when you put in the work and all of a sudden the the broker got paid and they didn't pay you. So, well, put it like this: they didn't pay our factoring company, which would be something I'll talk about next week of how to make sure that you can, the loopholes that they have. So anyway, so you good, man? Did I lose you? Uh-oh. Damn, I did lose you. All right, let's see. Okay, well, let's see. 'Cause I think I lost my wife. Let's see. She froze up. Hey, you froze up. What's going on?
I got kicked out. I wasn't on.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, I had to send you another request. It's okay. I heard everything you said, though.
We froze up at the house or?
No, I was kicked off the live.
Oh, wow.
I didn't freeze up. I was
Oh,
kicked off the live.
I was wondering was the internet that went down and kicked you off. Um, so you heard I was saying about the
FMCSA.
yeah, about your bond dropping below 75,000.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I feel like that is something that it needs to be. It needed to happen because when they came back and took that from us, I felt like that was a pretty, we shouldn't have been held on. We did the work, and and
Mm-hmm.
and so it's fair, um, it's almost like if I ran my truck and I don't pay my insurance for a month, and knowing that, then all of a sudden I switch to another insurance company, or I just decide to go out of business. I mean, my insurance is going to look at me like, okay, you still owe us money,
Right.
and
Right.
so, it's they're going to be like, we protected you for those 30 days, so
And we
with that said,
have to go back and we have to go back and chase the money down.
yeah, because that's what I was saying. That'll bring me to the next, next Tuesday when we talk about,
Factory.
factoring and dealing with the factoring company and the things to look for.
Mm-hmm.
And just to let everybody know, um, the things that I'm talking about is in the ebook. With writing the ebook, um, I basically just wanted everybody to have some of the basic information because really running a trucking company, um, is like I said, I kind of put it on the same level of playing chess. Um, you pretty much have your different pieces on the board, um, so it's pretty basic. The thing about it is that how you move your pieces every day, and so that's what I mean, and so that's also saying who you work with dealing with brokers, because you can check the broker's credit too. Um, just like they can check our credit and see what, going to the FMCSA and see what our SAPR is. And, because that's the first thing that a broker is going to do is look and see what your CSA score is.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like our credit,
Yeah.
but when you deal with your broker, you can check theirs as far as, against their bond and see if, they had a lot of, filings against the bonds and things like that. But those are the things that a lot of people didn't know when they got into the business, as far as like, pre-COVID, well, during the COVID era, because everything was so good.
Before.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody asked me today, they said, man, you think we're in a recession? I say, I would say maybe a freight, recession, but and he was like, well, how can it be a freight recession versus an economy recession? I said, well, because trucks make everything go round.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only speak on what the industry that I'm in, and we're, right now is tough times. And he was like, well, so when he asked me, I said, well, he said, well, well, I see how you're saying about the freight side, and I said, well, the freight side, yeah, because right now it's back down pre-COVID as far as the rates they want to charge. But the diesel is still kind of up. And so, but I went back and did my homework and realized that diesel was pretty much probably around the same as what it was when the rates was there. So it's just that everything else is happening, that's causing the problems in the industry. Like I said, when these brokers owe you money,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you have to do your due diligence to make sure that, hey, that you're not laying out, out on the hook for that money,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what's happening,
Mm-hmm.
and so, um, that's why I wanted to I made a few notes about working with a broker. Me, when I dealing with, we do, even though I would say that I thought, just because of working with a big time broker, that we wouldn't get into a situation where they owed us money,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, but it happened. So that's why I'm telling everybody, it happened to a lot of individuals. So when you choose and working with a broker, do your due diligence, and even when you do your due diligence, it still can happen to you because we did our due diligence because we didn't work with a few brokers. There's a few brokers that we did work with, finally got our money, but
Yeah.
they gave us a hard time getting our money. But guess when we got our money, we never worked with them again. I'm a big proponent of that. If you just can't pay me, what I'm due, and then this particular one, they really didn't want to pay the detention. And I'm like, you know what, this is so we didn't work no more with them. We got our money as far as the what we was paid, but we lost on the detention, and I moved on. But this particular broker, it went out of business, so we weren't able to recoup anything because our factoring company took their money back. And so I had to start looking into, because I always thought that the factoring companies are supposed to, allow, them to go out to people for the money. Well, that's in the case of not when it comes to the case of sometime with bankruptcy and going out of business. So, and so you got to, but like I said, we'll talk about that next week on the factoring side. But right now, but the thing about it, the FMCSA, them doing this as far as if a broker said, bond falls below $75,000 for seven consecutive calendar days, then
Mhm.
they're going to suspend them. So I think I think a lot of carriers are excited about that news, and then because it's going to be a lot more people filing against people bonds now, and knowing that
And right.
and these brokers gonna have to pay now, because they know if they don't pay and it drops below, because once you get that bond, once you file against that bond, you know, and you deal with court and all that, yeah, what I'm saying. So I think that's a good thing, and I only say that only with humbleness in my heart, was because, um, you know, I got friends that are brokers, and they do their due diligence. They take care. I've not heard any issues about them, but and so I think that this is finally something that is well needed. And then also too, just to kind of let everybody, the new rule will not kick in until January. The only thing I hate about it, January 16, 2026. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
Dang.
So yeah, so I'm saying, like, wow, I mean, it's like 2 years, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
What's
know
the
what I'm
point
saying?
of implementing it if it's going to take 2 years to
Yeah,
implement?
I know. And I mean, that's a lot. It could be a lot of damage done. But I think they probably will still be able to, um, I guess they got, they giving enough time for people to appeal and all that stuff. So, whenever you do new rules and laws or whatever, you might want to, people want to appeal. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe I don't know, maybe the brokers association, I don't know if they got one or not. Maybe they try to appeal, because I know a lot of the trucking companies we deal with OIDA, as far as kind of represent that own stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's but like I said, though, but it kicks in as far as January 16, 2026. That's the broker side. So uh, um, so when we dealt with this particular broker that the thing about it is that when we dealt with them, the signs were there, um, but I never would have thought they would have went out of business like one of the big major carriers did.
I didn't think they were going to go out of business.
Yeah, but that tells you how bad it is when you have, like, because like I said,
Okay,
that
you said the signs were there. What were the signs? Because
well, when it was time to, like, they made big deals about if they couldn't read this, like, if the paperwork's coming in, and then they'll kick something back. It was always something, and then
wrong.
they never really wanted to pay the attention, knowing that you're going to go to this carrier, I mean, go to this customer, and they already know you're going to be sitting. There's not like like, there's no, this is a proven fact that you're going to sit at this particular customer.
Mm-hmm.
for like 4 hours max. So you have so as a broker, you have to already have factored that in. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to factor that in as far as what I'm charging, and you letting it so when we put in for it to be reimbursed, it was always a headache, I used to talk to Dre about it, and he said, man, this is crazy, but they know I got to sit here, and
But
so that.
how much detention were they willing to pay? Is that also
Hmm?
an issue?
Which, well,
Do
not
they
you. You
do they
automatically
pay the
get your attention.
proper do they pay the proper amount of detention? Or does the rates change?
Nah, don't nothing change. It's just the same price as the detention. I'm saying no, don't nothing change. It's detention depending on what you agree to in your carrier package. The detention doesn't change. It's just after 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And they know you there because all of the e-log systems and the tracking systems, and you have to arrive yourself based on the apps they have. So they know you're there. The thing about it is that when you start seeing them fussing, they don't want to pay because of the detention. If I arrive on time based off your app, and then the app kept having an issue. So you start seeing people, you start seeing customers. I'm sorry, brokers start giving you the runaround. Yeah, you might want to leave them alone. You might want to leave them alone. It's because like I said, this doesn't kick in to 2026. Um, and Now I have to do a little bit more digging to see if they're gonna go implement like a short stay early before because it was just like with the e-log system when it first came out. They gave everybody at least 2 years to get compliant, with the regulation that was coming. So, this might be how it's supposed to be. I don't know. Because just because it's a rule or a law, it doesn't mean it takes effect right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like if, with the situation that happened, in the situation that happened in DC and everything. If this has never happened before,
Mm-hmm.
and then now you write a law after it happens,
Mm-hmm.
you can't take that same law and apply it to that person that did it. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or if there's a law on the books and it doesn't spell it out
Yeah.
clearly, then you got to go back to rewrite the law, and then the law still doesn't affect that person or that entity for until the law goes into effect. So with all that said, just trying to tell everybody, when you're dealing with your brokers and things like that, so just make sure you choose your brokers carefully, because when we fill out the carrier package, because I think the brokers theirs is a BMC 85. I think under the authority, I think theirs is BMC 80 because it's like ours is 85 or 83, 85. I think theirs is BMC 85. It might be BMC 85 with ours too. Um, so, but I think that's what the brokers are under, and I think that's under us. I think we both under there though. But anyway, um, the but yeah, when you choose your broker, just make sure you do your homework. And I get on these lives to tell everybody about it, just like because I feel like people that's getting into the business want to be in the business. You got people that want to be brokers, and the brokers need to understand that um, you have a responsibility just like us as truck drivers,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't like with us, our responsibility is to make sure our equipment stays safe, and and you know, doing the job, being on time, things like that. Well, the brokers have a responsibility to you know, um, you set the deal in place, and you know, um, that the carrier is running for, you know, running for the both to make the money,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it's your responsibility to make sure you do your part. That's basically what I'm saying. You
Gotcha.
good? Okay. You good? Seems like you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's you know, I was just talking about that, and the you know the you know, just about the broker stuff, the news that came out to try to protect carriers. So anybody that's trying to get into business, you know, just reach out to me, you know, and I'll try to, you know, walk you through as much as I can as far as the just getting into the business. If you already in the business, because if you're just getting into the business, then I don't think you'll be working too much with a broker, other than, you know, you'll be, I mean, maybe an owner operator. But if you are in the business and you decide to get your authority, then yeah, reach out to me, you know, at Crawford Logistics and Associates, so that we could, try to help you, you know, help you with, you know, guiding you with, you know, getting started in the business.
At what point do you at one point do you start working with a broker?
That's what I'm saying. You work with a broker when you get your authority. You don't really work with a broker until then. You don't have to work with a broker until you start to get your authority. Because really, if you under somebody else's um, MC number, then then they are the ones that are working with the broker. So it's kind of like if you was working for, let's say, a JB Hunt or something as an owner operator, then you wouldn't deal with the brokers. The only thing you would be dealing with is, you'll be dealing directly with a dispatch from JB Hunt. Now, um, but they do have load boards you can deal with, but it's usually going to be JB Hunt freight. It's under that load board. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, that's to your question. Yeah, you don't deal with it until you really have your own. When you have your own authority, you start working with brokers. And because a lot of people jumped on the load boards when they got their authority, and when you deal with the authority, I mean, deal with the load board,
Mm-hmm.
those brokers are you talking directly to those brokers,
Mm-hmm.
and those brokers, are working with you when you're working with them. Um, but the thing about it is that they already have, some of them have 14 days to pay, and some do, I think uh, past the 14 days, 30 days. If but the point is that if a broker, just make sure you do your due diligence and check behind, make sure that they are not a broker that has a lot of filings against their
Mm-hmm.
bonds. And just kind of search the net, see how people talk about different brokers. You can pull it up, reviews and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would, since I would say since January 1st, um, the it was a lot going on. And then when July, when one of the major carriers, which is number three carrier in the United States, went out of business, um, the signs was that was getting louder. The drum beat was already started beating
Mm-hmm.
in January, but
Mm-hmm.
but nobody thought of, but nobody we saw we didn't see it coming for the brokers. See, because what happened is that usually it'll come for the trucking companies, carriers. It
They don't
usually don't
come
come
for the
for the yeah,
brokers.
because the
Yeah.
overhead they don't have the overhead we have. That
Right.
surety that surety bond they have is $75,000, but they're not paying $75,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They paying, it's the amount of that bond you take out, but it's a couple thousand a year. But the
Mm-hmm.
point is that so if you negotiating a deal with these different shippers, then you should leave the carrier out there, somebody that did the work, um, put in the time,
Right.
because we already give up a lot. We don't, like I said, when we get to the shipper, we already got to give 2 hours before we
Mm-hmm.
even get any, before we even get, detention.
Mm-hmm.
And so it makes you feel bad as a carrier, like, man, you mean to tell me, these brokers should feel bad. Like, you negotiate the deal, so don't try to, not give us our money because we just spent fuel, time,
Mm-hmm.
into wear and tear on our vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
away from home. You can't get back. You know what I'm saying? I wish that it was started like ASAP, but
Yeah.
the laws don't. The laws doesn't. It doesn't work like that.
So where else can you go to find out about the brokers? Is the only place to investigate them is the FMCSA, or is there, or you just do FMCSA in Google?
You can go to the FMCSA website and they'll tell you the new rules and stuff, different changes they have. And of course you can, do your due diligence on the internet. And it pops up. It's gonna pop up. And then it's a blog I follow.
Mm.
I follow a few blogs. I'm not gonna shout them out on here though. But it's a few blogs I follow that you can look and see,
And get updates.
yeah, get
Okay.
updates and stuff. And you know what? To be honest with you, I'll give one. It's no big deal. I look at Freight Waves a lot of times. It's a pretty decent blog I follow. They're pretty good, and they bring you up to date on some things. Keep you in the loop of a lot of things, and so I do follow them. I think they had and I think it's posted on their site too, because they pretty much anything that's going to be, and then OIDA is a company that, is, utilized as far as, trucking. You can be a part of OIDA as far as a member,
Mm-hmm.
and they keep you abreast on the different things, the changes and stuff, and they pretty much fight for carriers. You know what I'm saying? So they want that I follow. So but like I said, the main thing is that trying to get everybody to understand that when we come on here and do these lives, I'm just trying to give free information on Tuesdays, updates and things like that to individuals that know me, and just tell somebody about it though. That's the only thing that I would like to see, more from our platform. People just basically say, hey, you know what, just go by there and it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this. This post somebody said that, and I think I sent it to you, and the person said, um, my product. My product. He's saying that the person's product was a little, pricey, and that they really couldn't afford it. And he's like, okay, yeah, but you can afford a click as far as liking something or telling somebody about it. So it doesn't that and, I mean, that's the thing, because I know it's a lot of people on my platform that know somebody that's in the business,
Right.
or somebody that wants to get in the business. Everybody gonna be sitting around for Thanksgiving and everything and trying to have conversations about, what's their next move. And if somebody say, okay, well, how would I encourage my son or my daughter that wants to get into the transportation business? Well, tell them to find Crawford Logistics and Associates on Tuesday. And we'll be able to, get some free information on Tuesday. And then if they feel like the information is, helpful, then, maybe they can sign up for a consultant. And first of all, get the ebook, and you'll get 30 minutes free. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sorry, yeah.
Mhm.
And so, and if they, especially if they're just starting, then we got a book for that. And if somebody is already in it, and case in point, I know someone that is thinking about, was thinking about shutting it down, but we talked about it, and he was like, okay, I see what you're saying, because like I told him, hey, um, you know, God bless you with that, man. You can, and nothing to say to somebody, hey, you know what, not to, shut your company down or whatever. When it's that time. But because when it gets a little bit like today, gloomy, rainy, everybody pray for rain, but like my man Denzel said, you got to deal with the mud too. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is that you know I don't know nobody that can run through run fast through mud, and so it just all the mud does is just slow you down a little bit, you know
Yeah,
um it slows you down, it makes you focus where a little bit better, and so I explain to him, I say, hey man, just like anything else, this too shall pass. So, and so when we get on these lives and we're trying to get everybody to understand that, like today, taking, 30 minutes to talk about working with a broker, I'm not gonna go on this platform and give like consultation type of like, hey, would you do this, and this. What me and my wife are doing, we having a conversation about things that's happened, it happened in the industry, whether it happened this week, because this FMCSA situation is starting the beginning of the year.
right.
This didn't just happen. This is just a rule that came down, but it started, but they had already been looking at these things. And then I think once that bigger broker went out of business,
Mm-hmm.
they knew right then and there, okay, we got to do something about this, because they owe a lot of people some money, and it's including us. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's when they started realizing, okay, this is really bad.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
well, I ain't gonna say bad. I'm gonna say not good. And the only reason I use the word not good versus bad, because I think not good is probably on the level of maybe, but just I wanted to lessen the blow. So you know what I'm saying? Because I mean,
No, you gotta keep it real. You got don't lessen the blow.
yeah, well, yeah, that's true. That's true. So anyway, so that's that, and I think that I just think that the rule was the only thing about it is it's just it's going to take almost 2 years to be enforced, kind of sort of. So,
Yeah.
but um, so anyway, so FMCSA, which is federal. Let me go back to my notes. FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier um, Services, something. Yeah, let me make sure I got it right, because I always write my notes, everybody. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. So anyway, everybody, go to that, you can go to fmcsa.org, and get some more information on it. And, like I said, and then you can use the two platforms I told you I kind of work with. But anyway, so everybody just tell a friend, tell a family about the ebook. You can go to our website, order at Crawford Logistics and Associates .com, and we'll get you through it and get you started, get you through it, and
Mm-hmm.
help you grow it.
Yep.
So just check that out on our website. Hey, babe, what you got going on though, as far as this stuff?
Just just trying to keep up. Restocking. We got an event. We're going to be at the the market, holiday market in Atlantic Station on December 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then we will be there as well on the 15th, 16th, and 17th in Atlantic Station, selling all of our products, not just the men.
15, 16, and 17.
Yes.
So
Friday,
that's
Saturday, Sunday.
so that's back.
Of
the back weeks.
December, yes, back-to-back weekends
Okay,
in December.
gotcha. Well, that's good. Everybody, please support Crawford Naturals, please. We, my wife really, she's growing her business, growing. Please support it, because she's really, really, I mean, when you think about it, you have to love what you do when you're in business, you know, because it has to come through authentic, you know. Some people get into it, and to me, I think they get into it, and um, you know, because I think that sometimes they just think it's okay. I can make some money over here, and not realize that you're creating something with hand by hand, um,
Mhm.
and 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 in order for you to create something, it has to have a love in order for it to come through. Because if not, you're playing with people's skin, you know, you can like I think me and you was talking about somebody was saying that um, turmeric was irritating somebody's skin, and I think he was saying is really not supposed to do that. I think he was what we was talking about. Remember?
Yeah, it was a post that
Yeah.
someone made saying that they bought an all natural skincare product that had
Hmm.
turmeric in it, and they said it was burning their skin. But
Hmm.
more than likely, it wasn't the turmeric. It might have been the fragrance oil or another ingredient
Yeah.
that they had. But
Hmm. Exactly.
it shouldn't burn your skin. But it whatever the formula, if it was burning somebody's skin, the formula is off, and I can't necessarily say how they made their product, but um,
How you doing, trucking permits? I'm listening. I'm
it,
listening.
it it
I'm,
it wasn't
yeah.
something was off in the formulation. So
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. You have to love what you do, and that's what I was saying about when it comes to transportation. It's been good to me, um, for over 20 25 years, over 20, really 20, over 27 years now.
hmm
So so when I wrote the ebook, it was it was really just trying to make sure that 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 everything came through in a way to hopefully that just like what you doing your product and how you doing it by hand, that you able to say, hey, this right here, I did it with love. You know what I mean? Hoping that because when you started because of our children, um, and making sure that their skin stayed, was help with the eczema and things like that. And then also too, I'm wearing it in my beard, grows. So and I think that, like I said, just want to see people say they support small businesses. Well, you support a small business, tell somebody about it.
hmm
You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Go on there and like the page, um, just if you want to support a small business and also buy some product, and your product is at what me? At what me?
Crawford shop.crawfordnaturals.com.
Okay, okay. All right, so everybody, just want to say, we just got on here today. Like I said, hope everybody have a good Thanksgiving. And try not to eat too much. But hey, enjoy the family because that's what it's about. It's about family. Um, because who, who's to say you'll be here for Thanksgiving 2025? So enjoy your family. You can't get that back. And like I said on this live, this platform is really and truly just about, trying to, give someone somewhere to go to, find out information or, or make, or, get some, answers to their questions, things that they, that I know they would need to be in, in business. Because like I told somebody the other day, um, if it's your dream to have your own trucking company or start your trucking company, then it's your dream. Who am I or who am anybody to steal it from you and say, no, I wouldn't do it because it's the industry's bad. No, it don't mean it's gonna be bad for you. The only way I would say that it turns out bad for somebody is if you don't do your due diligence and find a consultant or someone that's been in the business like us. And then that way what happens is walk you through it, and because there are some things that you never know that you may not see that will cost you to fail down the road. So anyway, but that's why we're here on Transportation Tuesday. But hey, you got anything else, man?
No, I'm good.
Okay, so everybody, we're going to let this go. We just went a little longer tonight. It was raining, trying to get more people on, a little bit more on the lives. But everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. And like I said, a day above ground another day above ground is a good day. Just tell everybody I want to say peace, and man, we'll see you next Tuesday. And next Tuesday we'll be talking about factoring, which was based off of kind of sort of what we talked about today was a spinoff of the dealing with the brokers so that so we'll talk about that and some of the loopholes. And like I said, we'll see you next Tuesday. All right. Have a good Thanksgiving. All right, everybody. Bye.
Bye.